Hello, welcome to the Joe Cortez Healthcare Talk Show. Today we're going to talk a little bit about boxing and a little bit about healthcare, why it's so important. You know, I remember back in the days in New York growing up, where I started my boxing career as a Golden Glover. I started with the Boys Club of New York. And from there on, it led on to me become a professional. But I'll tell you why it was important for me was because growing up in Spanish Harlem, one of the toughest areas in New York City at the time, wasn't easy. It was tough, and I learned how to box because a fighter named Gaspar Ortega back in the 50s and 60s moved into my neighborhood. So it was important for me to learn how to defend myself because being in that tough neighborhood, but it also kept me off the streets and kept me on the right track, not doing any drugs, no gangs, things like that. So here I am in Las Vegas now, many years later, and retired from boxing as a referee. And now I'm here back to try to get people on board like today's guest. Today's guest is going to be True Nevins. True Nevins is owner of a gym, DXL Boxing, here in Las Vegas, and she's going to tell us a little bit of why she started her gym and what's going on. I want to welcome True Nevins. Hello, True.
Hey, how are you?
Great. Good to see you on the show here today. And I was just telling the guests about why I think it's so important. It was for me, and I thought you have a vision for helping out in the community, and that's why you started your gym. Now, how important it is for you to do what you're doing in boxing. You have a gym here in Las Vegas. Can you tell us a little bit about your gym?
Sure. So we're a pretty small gym, but we got everything here. We got a 20-foot ring and heavy bags and, a boxing gym needs. And on the west side, which is kind of unique because there's not a lot of gyms boxing on the west side. So that's one thing. And we offer training level. We have professional boxers here. We have amateur boxers. So basically cater to everyone.
Okay. Now, how many youngsters do you have? You have all ages, young fighters, middle age, older. Can you tell us a bit
Yeah.
of the age range?
Right now, the youngest fighter we have is about 10, and we go up to people in their 50s.
Wow, that's great,
Yeah.
great. That, that,
So,
that, that means I got a chance in my 50s to work out there. I saw 50 many years ago, a couple of decades ago. But I've taken care of myself because of boxing. Your boxing going
yeah,
back to those days when you were young, and you like people that go to your gym now, they work out, they stay healthy, and, it helps you mentally and physically, keeps you going. And that's what I like about what you're doing at your
hmm
gym there. You have
yeah,
you have all these fighters come in there, and especially these young folks that need a little, especially now with the pandemic, they got to let out some of that frustration. They get depressed,
exactly.
that
Yeah,
depression and anxiety, and going to a gym there. I think that's one of the best ways to let out your anxiety and your depression, punching those bags, huh?
I totally agree, Joe. Boxing to me is like meditation. When you come in, everything from the beginning, you walk into the gym, it's the atmosphere, it's a vibe, it's like a family here. But it's when you start wrapping your hands, that's when you begin the meditation. It's like, it's body and mind. So you have to be super focused with boxing. And you kind of forget about everything else, and I think at this time, you're right, with COVID and the world changing so quickly, you need a place where you can get away and a place where you can just kind of let your mind relax.
Yeah,
And I always feel like boxing did that for me, and I know that's what it does for people who come here.
yeah, exactly. Now the gentleman there with you today, Derek, can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about what you have in mind about boxing?
Well, I think boxing overall keeps a person healthy, keeps their weight down, keeps your endurance up, your stamina. For those who just want to stay in shape, but for the guys that are professional, that's getting ready for a fight or trying to become world champion, it allows them to come and have the best of equipment, the best atmosphere, and to train at DLX.
Yeah, good. We have training trainers there that train on a regular basis. And what are the hours there for training?
So the hours, what's great about the gym is that I don't really have hours, right? So if a coach is training their client, they've got access to the gym. They can start as early as 5 in the morning or as late as they want. I've got people coming in at all times. So the hours really is between the fighter, the client, and their coach. So that's what also makes it unique is that I try to accommodate everybody because
Yeah.
everybody's schedule is so different, especially fighters, pro fighters. They have the fights coming up late at night. They want to train during the same time that they're fighting. So they come in 7 p.m., 7 to 9, or even sometimes later. We accommodate that. We do a lot of camps here. We had Shakur's camp not too long ago. We're having him back again. We had Stephen Fulton here. Louis Neary was just here. So we have a lot of pros come in, and the place is really good for that. I mean, we do other things, but it really is a great training campground for pro fighters. Sorry, and so you come in and basically, like I say, you make it your home. It's kind of like this is your place for however long the training camp is, 6 weeks typically.
And now with the COVID now, I understand that you guys keep that place spotless. I hear that you keep it from A to Z. Everything is spotless. I had a referee, Mike Ortega, my godson, who's a referee in Vegas. I understand he goes to your gym there to work out, do his basic training as a referee during the sparring sessions. He told me how beautiful and clean, how the gym is really one of the best that he's seen here in Las Vegas.
Well, I've been told that it's one of the cleanest gyms. So, hearing people say that is better than me saying it, so they could see that, everything is wiped down. We clean the gym. We keep it clean as you can for a sport like boxing.
Yeah,
So,
that's not too common these days, but I understand that you keep it that way. And being that, this is your gym and this is your dream, and you want to keep it spotless in all areas, which is so important with the COVID these days. Sanitizing is so important.
yeah, we try. I mean, there's just so much you can do. COVID is kind of, what do they call it? Like a silent killer. You don't see it. It's all over. So
Right.
you can just try your best to do that. But we'll see. We'll see. So far we've been trying to keep it as safe as possible.
Right. Now, Derek, you as in the boxing game for so many years, you're a trainer, and I know you competed at one time. And you tell us a little bit about your upbringing in boxing.
Well, my upbringing in boxing started in Chicago. So I didn't start competition until about 17, but I started training when I was about 13. And I've trained with some of the greats like Kenny Adams, Down House, and different people. But boxing allowed me to basically, get off the streets of Chicago. And so because of boxing, I'm here to speak to you today and be alive. So I started training, and I worked my way up to number 1 in the world with WBC and won a couple of junior world titles under Kenny Adams. And now I'm working for Top. And so boxing has been my life for the last 30, 40 years, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I know I see you all the time at the fights, and I've been inactive myself, Derek, because of my COVID that I suffered this past year, and I was hospitalized for 5 months. But due to my always working out, keeping myself in shape, they told me that that's one of the reasons why I made it, because I've always taken care of my body, so I've always, kept myself physically fit and eating healthy, which is so important, and just staying off drugs and drinking. All that stuff has always been a no-no for me because of the boxing, the way I grew up. And that's why you said Chicago. Well, when I was 17 years young, I fought in Chicago for the Intercity National Golden Glove Championships. In 1961, Muhammad Ali had just left the amateurs and because he became Olympic champion, then he turned pro. But when I went to that gym there in Chicago to work out, I fought a fighter by the name of Oscar German. Oscar German had beaten Emmanuel Stewart in that tournament, and I ended up beating Oscar German for the national championship. So I remember one day Manny Stewart came up to me, "Hey Joe, are you that little skinny Puerto Rican who beat Oscar German?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's the guy that beat me to get to the finals." I said, "Yeah, well, I beat him with no problem." And that was good memories of my experience in Chicago. And of course, Manuel Stewart, a great trainer, just like Kenny Adams. Kenny Adams, I've known him for so many years, and he's one of the best trainers. And I know when he was training the Olympic teams back in the days, and Kenny Adams is still here in Las Vegas, and I understand that he was to say a couple of words to me. I heard that. I heard that he wants to. Oh, he's here in person. Oh, there he is, Kenny Adams, my man,
What's
Kenny
up?
Adams. Hey, how you doing,
Be here.
Kenny? All right.
I think you're one of the best and the secure referees there is.
Well, I always try my best. I said when I grow up, I want to be like Kenny Adams, the best.
Okay. Well, hey, you're a little bit behind me. I'm about 82 right now, so I'm hanging up in there. But I'm at the gym about every day,
Yeah.
working with people and everything. So it's all good, you know.
Yeah,
And
well,
one of my little youngsters here, Derek Harmon, I put him in the world championship belt for a while.
yeah,
He's working for Bob and doing a great job.
he's one of the
So,
he's one of the nicest guys out there. Knows his
yeah.
boxing, and he's in the right position with Bob Arum.
So I'm very blessed to have such great people around me. I have Jesse Reed here, who's
Jesse,
also, yeah, and so he's here, and we have other great coaches. I have Coffee Gentula that's here. And I have DJ Krill and Francisco Esparza. Just a lot of great coaches. We have Rocky Jimenez. They all were in the fight world, either amateurs, pros, and now they're taking on kids and grown-ups and teaching them. And there's a lot of excitement. It's a great, it's great because it's a little bit of everything. And I get to spend my day, which is sometimes you don't know what you're in for.
Kenny, tell me something about your days back when you were training the Olympic teams. What years was that?
84 and 88.
84 and 88. Now, yeah, how many gold medals you guys got those years?
Oh no,
1984, we
I'm
had
just
uh,
just so happens.
I think we had 3 golds, 3 silver, 2 bronze, and in the 88 team we had almost the same identical, 3 golds, 3 silver, and 2 bronze in 88. Yes.
Wow. Well,
Sorry, 84. I'll take that back. We had 6 golds in the gold medals in 1984.
and how many of those gold medals became champions, world champions in boxing, professional boxing?
Champion Pernell Whitaker, Riddick Bowe, Kenny, some people I forget. Now I know I'm forgotten them, but they almost all those guys became every one of those guys became world champion. Holyfield, Sandoval, a whole bunch of those kids became professional. They
Right.
also became.
It's amazing. You did a hell of a job training those fighters. I mean, once you become Olympic champion, you really make it to the top in boxing much easier than others.
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly right. The thing is that boxing, boxing has never really changed that much. But the thing is it's still, I think it's one of the toughest sports there is. There's no tougher because you had to give up everything to get up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but let me tell you something, Kenny. I always say, me as an ex-fighter myself, but I'm more known as a referee. But I can tell you that in training fighters is not easy, and I think that you need good trainers. Sometimes I think we got to train the trainers, and maybe have somebody like you train some of these trainers out there, because a lot of them just don't know the basics the way you do, the way the old time. You're from old school, and you know your training, and you know everything about a fighter. You know you can't train a fighter as a bantamweight, a flyweight, as we do as a heavyweight. They're different styles for different kind of fighters, and you got to know them one-on-one. It's not just training them all the same. You gotta know your fighters. Once you know your fighters, you're able to adapt them to the way, the proper training. And you got to know your fighters, and you knew your fighters very well. That's why you ended up with so many champions.
Well, Joe, you're exactly right there. A lot of people don't really know the ins and outs of boxing, that they are trainers. I want to say something sometime, but I don't,
Yeah,
because I don't
I,
want to hurt nobody's
yeah,
feelings.
I know.
And how
Yeah, but I
do
can
that.
say from the outside here, from a referee's perspective, I always look out for the safety of the fighters. And a lot of things is that I say a lot of them don't have great defense. And if you don't have good defense, you're going to get hurt, So you were always good at teaching these guys how to hit and don't get hit, It's
Right.
good. You want your
That's why,
fighter.
is offense is a defense.
Right, exactly.
Great offense, that would be defensive for you. But you're right there, is what you were saying. You're exactly right. You need to know the inners and outs, and definitely a lot of people don't have any defense. That's
Yeah.
true.
And in training fighters, you got to have a lot of patience for that, because it's like training a young baby coming up. You got to train him the right way so he can grow up the right way. And when it comes to taking care of these kids, you got to bring them up the right way from when they're young. So when they develop into adulthood, they're doing the right things in life. And that's why I say that staying healthy and eating right, doing the right, sleeping good, getting good training, getting good education. On top of that, not only all boxing, get educated, because boxing is only for so many years in the sport. That's why, like I have my grandson, Bryce Hampton, he's a senior at Purdue University, and he's a football player, but he's getting educated while he's there now, and he's getting a good education, because they know that after the sport, after football, you got to fall back into something else. And I like to see fighters get a little bit more educated in their personal life, because when you making all this money, you got to know how to manage your money so you can live the rest of your life comfortable. And a lot of fighters or any athlete, they make a lot of money too quick, and they spend it because they don't know how to invest their money properly. And I think that's what we need a little bit of. That's something that some gyms in town here have a little training program, educational program on the side, which helps these young kids, But I think that what you've been doing, Kenny, in boxing has been a plus. And I can tell you the truth. I'm glad that you got to put that gym together, and you're surrounding yourself with a handful of very good, top of the notch individuals that are gonna help you out with these fighters, because you guys are working like a team there. And I love to see that, and I'm glad to see true that you've given it all your heart and your love to the sport of boxing.
Yeah, I mean, you said it exactly right. It's a team. It's a team effort. Like I
Right.
built this place. First thing I said to everybody that joined is, you guys have to put the soul into it. Like these are walls, but we got to create something here. And I agree with you 100% that there needs to be more education. Teaching these young fighters that it doesn't last forever. And it's important to look at the next step. And boxing has changed so much too from years ago. A fighter has to have everything. They have to be able to fight. They need to be able to. It's entertainment too. They have to be able to speak. They have to be able to be comfortable in front of the camera. You really have to show. And to have all that, you need mentors. You need people to teach you. You need good people around you, because then you can get very lost. And that's what we try to do here. The people that are here are very, very knowledgeable they've been through it and they know what you need to succeed. And they try to give insight to these young fighters too. So with that said, I have somebody here that wants to say hi. A legend in his own.
Here's another, hey, how you doing? Okay, I can't see you too close there. Let me see that face. Oh my God, can't. Okay. So how you doing, buddy? Tell our viewers your name and your title, your accomplishments in boxing.
Chop Quality, multiple time world champion, still at 140 pounds.
Okay, but you gave up boxing as a fighter.
He's
not-
like,
You back again?
I haven't retired yet.
Oh, you never announced it, huh? When was your
Not
last, Chop, when was your last fight?
October 29th,
Really? Okay, how many fights you have now as a pro?
86.
86. Wow, that's like the lifespan of two boxers. You know? Talking about 86, there was a fighter named Gaspar Ortega who got me started. Kenny knows who he is, but Gaspar Indian Ortega, his son is the referee, Mike Ortega, who goes to the gym there to work out as a referee. And Gaspar Ortega had 176 professional fights. Okay? And 1 year he had something like 20 some odd fights back in 1965. If you look at BoxRec, Gaspar Ortega, and he only got stopped twice in his whole career. He got stopped by Emil Griffith in the 12th round for the welterweight championship, and he got stopped by Sandro Massinghi in Italy between rounds in the corner. Those are the only two times that Gaspar Ortega got stopped. And I must say, may he rest in peace, he just passed away in December. So, but he was my mentor and got me started. And that's why I like to see what you guys are doing there, Corey and True and Kenny, helping out the fighters and getting them on the right track, because they need your help out there. Your experience in boxing and in the world. Not only you a champion inside the ring, but a champion outside the ring as well. So we're very proud of you. And thank you.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe. Take care.
Okay, buddy. All right,
Good one,
so True. So going back to your gym there, if somebody wants to get to your gym, what's the name, and the full name, and the location and phone number?
Yes. So it's DLX Boxing, and it's 3635 South Fort Apache. We're in Suite 205, and the telephone number you can call me direct is 702-353-6795. I'll show you,
That's great. And your hours, we got it on the screen too. But
Okay.
but we have it. We have your hours. You say you're basically open like more than 12 hours a day, depending on certain days. But what is your
Exactly.
normal for basic? Somebody come in to learn the basics of just working out. What hours do you recommend?
Oh, it start as early as 6 a.m. typically, from like 6 to about 11:30 are our morning hours for people who want to come in the mornings. And then like after 4 o'clock till 8, we're open. So because the midday is reserved for pros and amateurs. So that's why this gym is, I mean, I'm sure there are other gyms that operate like this, but I try to accommodate everything. So I have to find time in the middle of the day that separates the professional fighters, the amateur fighters, because we have a lot of sparring going on here, a lot of work. So it's a place. So I have to keep those hours separate.
Okay.
So,
Now you also have the fighters that come there, the individuals that come there. Then you don't put them into the ring right away. You gotta learn the basics first.
Of course, as Kenny will attest, we're all about learning the fundamentals properly. This is a boxing gym. This is not a fit. I mean, you get fit, but this is not a fitness gym where someone's going to be like, throwing on the heavy bag, sit around. Learn your fundamentals. We keep it safe. Sparring is a part of it. We got a lot of blood on the canvas, but it's gotta be done properly. We're here to learn. We're here to longevity in the sport.
Yeah.
Is what I believe in. And I want to see people learn. So we don't throw people in unless they're ready. Beginners. A lot of young fighters, they want to go in right away. Our coaches won't allow that,
Right,
you know.
right.
And if they we do it at a slow pace.
Right.
It's do it at a pace where it's safe.
Right, you want safety first when it comes
Yes.
to the boxing. You don't want somebody
Yeah.
going in there. Plus, you want them to come in physically fit and to get a clearance from your doctor. Make sure you're in good condition to go to a gym to work out, because
Yeah.
that's the advice we give everybody. You don't want to go to any gym. I don't care what kind of physical fitness. You got to get physically passed by your doctor, making sure that you have no heart condition and making sure that you can do what you're supposed to be doing without any added injuries to your body. You don't.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're fit before you can get fit.
Exactly. No, but clearance, if we have some older people coming in, it's definitely, I mean, everybody should have physicals. Even young people, you never know. But particularly, those that are over 35, I would say, get a full physical, make
Right.
sure that it's okay. I mean, we clients who've got some knee injuries, and we know how to work around that, but of course you don't want to re-injure yourself, so you got to take responsibility for your own life too. You really have to
Yeah.
be a responsible person, and it's like you said, it's a lifestyle. If you're talking about staying fit, you can't just go to the gym and eat whatever you want after. Especially for fighters, professional fighters, amateur fighters, it is a lifestyle. So we tell them that. We definitely talk to them about the fact that when you leave the gym, you can't go out partying every night. I mean, once in a while, you need to let loose, but it really is something that you have to. It's a lifestyle you have to maintain. Your diet, exercise, and it all contributes to your mindset. So this is the toughest sport in the world, in my opinion. And in order to succeed and really to become a champion, you have to have it all. Because
Exactly.
you don't, somebody else will take that spot. Somebody else will work more than you.
That's right.
So
That's why it's so important to keep yourself fit. And we don't want nobody getting hurt. What we're trying to do is get you a good physical condition. But what I like about boxing, especially I have some people that call me every so often, say, Joe, I have my teenage son or teenage daughter, because this gym is for males and females. They go to your gym and work out. And that's very important for everybody to know that they have females and males at the same gym learning
Yeah.
boxing, and it's so important. But you have to know that coming up, growing up as a youngster, I have a gentleman called me up to say, Joe, I got a son who's giving me some problems. What do you recommend? He's getting kind of angry at any little thing. He's a little rebel these days. And I said,
Yeah.
well, he says, where can I send my son? To what gym can you recommend? And I'm sure that places like your place, you're not going to tolerate no nonsense there. You're not there to babysit. You're there to train people. But we're there, the trainers know that when you're training a fighter, the fighter automatically learns discipline. And then their self-esteem grows and their confidence level grows as well when you're into boxing. Because these are the
Yeah.
things, these are the part of the ingredients that you mix into boxing. That what everything develops. Self-esteem, confidence level, everything is just so important with boxing. And I'm so glad you were able to put up that gym there in Las Vegas. Now, how far are you off 215? So people want to go to your location. They know more or less where is that.
Well, we're right on Fort Apache off of Spring Mountain in Twain. So that's where we are. It's pretty easily
like-
accessible.
That's like the south side of Las Vegas, right? Southwest.
Bit, yeah. But I want to just say something. You said discipline. Discipline is I think one of the most important things in boxing or in any sport really. And that's what I think this gym provides people with, helps them with, I should say. You have to find that discipline. And yeah, I get calls from parents quite often. Their kids, they want to bring their kids in because they can't control them. They've got issues. They're not doing well in school. They don't know what to do. And it's amazing to see the transition in these kids. I mean, it's physically, mentally. We've got kids that have started a year ago and just are here consistently 3 days a week. and you could see the demeanor has changed.
Yeah,
You
well,
know, and so I really recommend that for like parents to look into. You know, you think of boxing, it's a brutal sport, and why do you want your kid to do something? So, but really, it is brutal, but the journey to get there is like amazing. You know, to get to that higher level of if you want to become a fighter, but if you're taught properly,
right.
it's
Well,
pretty.
well, I can tell you, True, I want to thank you guys for being on the show today, and Kenny.
Thank
True, I want to say that, thank you so much for the DXL Boxing gym, and keep on what you're doing. And you viewers out there, you got the word from True of why she truly put this gym together, because she truly believes in the sport of boxing. So with that said, guys, we'll see you next week. Take care. God bless.